Welcome to a brand new episode of On VJ's Playlist. And today I'm joined by Siddharth Bendi, a young singer-songwriter who is based from Hyderabad and is currently in Boston at the Boston campus of Berkeley Music. Thank you, Siddharth, for joining. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. It's like in the morning and on a Sunday right now, and I really wanted to like wake up early. And this is like I'm using this as an excuse because if I didn't have this, I'll probably wake up at like 11 o'clock, and then I will feel bad about that the whole day. But this is just nice. I have a reason to wake up early, and now I have an early morning. I just feel like I beat the competition. It's nothing, but I just feel like it's a good thing to do. Yeah.
I love you all the more because apart from enjoying your music now, I think what a sweet way is to make me feel special that you get up at 7 in the morning on a Sunday when you could be just snoozing right now and you've woken up just for this. I am very thankful to you for doing that, Siddharth. I want to first begin by asking you, you were 18 when you made your debut in 2017 with One in a Million. So young, so enterprising, so full of dreams, so full of aspirations. I remember listening to Fire in the Rain and I was dumbstruck because you're almost a decade younger than me. And I was left dumbfounded, wondering what kind of maturity is there in the songwriting? Firstly, when you look back at how you started, from where you started in 2017 with One in a Million, how do you look at your journey so far?
Um, I think it's been the greatest learning experience, and I am really happy that I started putting out music at 18, like that young, because I've grown to realize that the most amount of learning happens when you actually put out music. You a lot of people, and even I myself, just save a lot of songs so that they get better over time, maybe rewrite them, rework them, produce them for years, and not release them just because they can probably get, no, this can be better, this can be better. Like we try to perfect it, and we give it so many years and we put it out, and it probably works for some people, but I've just realized that only when I release music and going through all of that effort of like not just making the music but also marketing it and also getting it out there, playing a show to promote it, and talking about it, and then writing the pressure of writing better songs than the ones that I've released. All of that has sort of like just made my learning process a little faster and just given me a head start because I started so early. And I don't think I would have gotten um like I'm not saying like I'm really good now, but I've definitely gotten better than like when I was 18 5 years
Right.
ago. And I don't think I would have gotten as good as I am today um if I didn't release Fire in the Rain and One in a Million EP in 2018. So I just feel like it's a very, very big learning experience. And I feel like all young people should just immediately start. A lot of people just wait and try to figure it out and then do it. And that's fine. Like, that's a nice way safe way to do it, I guess. But there's nothing safe about having a career in music. I feel like it's a risk in itself, and you're playing like a big game every single day, trying to be a musician, and it's a gamble, and you might as well take like a lot of chances from the beginning. So I'm super like grateful that I made those decisions super early in the process. And I've just learned so much. I only really got into Indian independent music um, ever since I released my first EP. Before that, I didn't know a lot of Indian artists. I didn't know a lot of like the scene, and like I didn't know anything. I didn't want to know anything. But then once I was a part of it, I was obliged to know, and then I was just like constantly getting so much information about everything, and that only happened because I released, and I'm really glad that I did that. Yeah.
And it's also partially because, Siddharth, I remember I had interviewed PK, who's also from Hyderabad city, around about
Hyderabad.
almost. Hyderabad represent, yeah. And it's been almost a year now since I interviewed her, and I remember asking her that why is there such a common misconception that Hyderabad does not have an independent scene thriving, because people don't really hear about a lot of, like, when people talk indie, people are either talking Bangalore, or they're talking Mumbai, or they're talking Delhi. Sporadically, sometimes Chennai and Kochi pop up, but it's never the case with Hyderabad. So
Yeah.
do you also feel that PK is right here, that it's clearly just a matter of you have to really get very microscopic in your vision to actually scout talent from the city?
Um, in a way, yeah, but also not. I feel like Hyderabad as a city is a very different case compared to like a Bangalore or a Bombay, because um in Hyderabad there are so many talented people that I literally talk to every single day. Um, and they like keeping to themselves. I don't feel like they like showing off as much as like some of the other people that I know. And that's a great thing because the musicianship is just so good. And I love that about like some of my friends from Hyderabad. But also that's like a weird thing because it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I feel like there are the same amount of good artists in every city. And I don't even think that this whole city thing matters when you put things in perspective, especially after coming to Berkeley and sort of seeing things here.
Hmm.
I'm realizing more and more that we need to act as one country more than which city we are from. Um, and I've always felt like that, but more so now that I'm not in India.
Yeah.
And I feel like it doesn't matter. You're in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Bombay, whatever. Everybody's playing everywhere. Everybody's releasing music that everybody can listen. That's the beauty of Spotify also, that you can put out music and doesn't matter where you're from. Somebody from Uganda can listen to me. It's the greatest thing, right? So yes, Hyderabad does have like a lesser volume of artists going into playlists, artists doing press, artists doing tours, like a lesser volume of everything. But I feel like that's also a good thing because a lot of people in Hyderabad that I know are like musicians who really know what they're doing. And they're not all about just releasing music, but they really work on their skill. For example, my friend Nitish from
Hmm.
Hyderabad, um, I've seen him grow so much as a musician over the years, and like just he'll always like talk about practicing and getting better and like working on that and working on the skill and like all of that. I don't see him stressing as much about releasing a song and getting 100,000 streams. I feel like the priorities are just different, but that doesn't mean that anybody's better or not better or like um not doing enough or something like that. So I just feel like it's just different priorities. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day because like as long as there's good music that anybody is listening to, I feel like it's still helping the world. And it shouldn't matter. Yeah.
We spoke of one in a million, Siddharth, and I was reading an interview where, in your opinion, one in a million was something like I mentioned, at the start of the interview, something that was very happy, hopeful, and, aspirational in tone. Cut to Lost, where there's a complete 360-degree shift of tone,
Yeah.
and where it's more introspective, it's more ruminating in its tone and its texture. I mean, I remember just listening to the instrumental phases, and
Yeah.
I went into a trance, on my own after that.
Mm.
Was it just an experiment, or was it something that stemmed out from a very inner feeling in you?
I feel like I got more comfortable talking about my feelings after the first EP.
Okay.
Like yeah, especially like the first EP was all about pleasing people and letting them know that I can write music, letting them know that I want to be a musician. Like it's more childish than
Yeah.
a lot of things that I've done, and it's fine. I feel like that's exactly what I'm saying. Like I released it so early that it's okay that it was like that, and then
The
and
pressure
then
of making the first impression, no, you say.
Exactly. Like, oh no, good. This EP should have everything. It should have a happy song, should have a sad song, it should have one of those fire in the rain moments, should have one of those crying moments in the song called One. Like it needed to have everything to please everybody. And like, I was thinking like, oh, Ed Sheeran's album has these kind of songs. Then I should probably put these kind of songs in like my album as well. So like that sort of a approach, which is so like which is how I think everybody starts and everybody wants to be in the beginning. And then you realize, you know what, I'm writing songs because I want to tell my story. And then I think about my story, and I'm not saying it's not happy, but like uh it's a complex feeling. And I wanted to be more honest on Lost. And then I started writing those songs. And some of those songs I actually wrote around the time of One in a Million, and I just saved them for later. And also the producer that I was working with that time,
Yeah.
Akhil
Okay.
Kodumanchali, his name is, yes. And um he produced both my first EPs. And when he was working on One in a Million, it was his one of his first production projects. And he was also just not experimenting, but sort of he was listening to me a lot more and sort of giving me what I want and sort of trying to find a balance. And he's not really someone who makes pop music. So it was a big like leap for him to come out and do something like One in a Million for me. And then we got really comfortable working with each other. And by the time it came to Lost, we
Hmm.
were like, we want to create something now, because he knew me, I knew him, he knew my music, I knew his music. Now we were able to blend it together in the perfect
Yeah.
way. And like we were going through our own things together and sort of wanting to present those in Lost EP together. And that came out really, really differently. And in fact, some of those songs on Lost are so influenced by Akhil's sound that they sound really different now on stage. And I want to do like another re-recording of Lost EP just by myself with a guitar, because like the singer songwriter version of some of those songs don't exist out in the world yet. and
Right.
and I've grown to love them so much. Like it's been 3 years since Lost. So the songs have evolved even more now, especially after COVID, and singing those songs, and like even the meaning of the songs and the things I wrote about sort of evolved. And now it just feels different. Most of the songs feel different. So I feel like the songs will keep evolving forever. And Lost was just a more honest EP. And then everything I put out after that, it just kept getting more and more honest and more real. So like if you listen to June, that's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense almost, but it is the most honest thing that I put out. So yeah, it's one whole thing.
I mean, since you spoke of June, oh my God. I mean, I don't know what have you done to all of us as a community, because there is not one single soul on Instagram who does not share June so wholeheartedly, and is, if I am, at the risk of repeating myself here, I feel is in a trance after listening to that song, because so beautifully it essays, the pain of unrequited love, and kind of letting go, knowing that you spent considerable time and such qualitative time with somebody you love, but then it's not meant to work out, it's not meant to be, and just that whole that sense of realization that dawns upon you, that this is your reality now and you got to accept it. Again, Siddharth, I mean, it's like the June, I think, encapsulates your coming of age as an artist, at least when it comes to, the songwriting in the song. Do you want to tell us more about how did you reach that state of mind with June?
Um, I was just trying to be very, very honest. With it's like a super personal story that it's completely true, and I'm so proud of it that I could write something exactly how it happened. Of course, like the story is not out there, but like
Yeah.
the what I have on the song is pretty much everything I felt about it. And the chorus is like just like the truest form of what I was going through at that time. I wrote it on the 11th day of June. The song was written
Wow.
exactly on it. Like most transparent I've been in a song ever. And I feel like that's why it is, that's why people say the kind of things they say about that song, is because there is no way I could make that up, you know.
Yeah.
I know these are words that you like, feels like you don't have much to say, is probably something 100 other songwriters have written in 100 other songs, but the way it's sort of presented in June is so personal. I feel like that's what, like people have made it their long distance relationship song, and they've made it their past relationship and breakup song, and like they listen to it so religiously. I'm in Boston. I wake up at like 6 o'clock sometimes, check my Spotify, and there's like 5 people listening to it from India, and it's like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why they're doing yeah, in the evening. Yeah, and I don't know why somebody would listen to it like so much in odd times like that, but that's just like, it invokes so many feelings, I guess. And it did that for me when I wrote it, and I'm so glad that it does that, because that's like the greatest achievement a songwriter could have, in my opinion, the relatability factor of it. And I think just I wanted to be really honest, and I wanted to tell my story, and I did. And I actually wasn't sure if I wanted to put June out in the beginning, because I was like, this is way too personal. I don't know if it belongs in the world. Um, and then eventually, like that whole story just evolved, ended, and I was just like, yeah, for me, for this story to sort of have its closure, I should probably release it and put it out for the world. Maybe somebody else will um, relate to it, and I did, and it has been just amazing how people have received it. And I still get messages sometimes saying that like the some of the words have made people cry or made people remember something. Some people have even made it their family so, like a couple of people have texted me saying that it reminds them of their mother, because their mother's birthday is in June or something like that. It is it it makes no sense to me that actually worked, because I was thinking that it's 11th day of June, 4 days to go, there'll be nothing more to you, could be like so unrelatable, because it doesn't make any sense. But then so many people have just made it their version. And yeah, it's just really, I'm so like, it really amazes me sometimes how um a song can be so many things to so many people.
Isn't that reaffirming, no, when you actually receive such love and you receive such heartfelt messages from listeners across the world, when you are actually the least convinced about, the reach or, the resonance of
Yeah.
the song?
Yeah, I think that's the case with a lot of musicians. Like, we just tend not to believe that good things can happen. We're just always putting ourselves in the worst situation possible. But people are kind. People are really, really kind. And we tend to forget that. And I feel like that happens with everybody, not just musicians. We just tend to forget that people can be nice to you and good things can happen to you. And yeah, releasing music, that's another trip for me with releasing music. Every time I release music, I just realize how blessed, like, I am with like so many people and so many, it's not just the people, honestly, it's just the amount of good energy that circulates the whole space. Like, my whole aura is just surrounded by good energy when I release music, because people just um, throw all of that affirmation onto you. And it's not just based off of Instagram affirmation, it's real
Yeah.
time. Like, even if it's a show, for example, if I play a new song at a show, when people come to you and say, hey, I relate to that song, please release it sometime, it is just such good energy. Like, I'll go to sleep peacefully. When's the last time somebody slept peacefully? Like, it's that. So for me, it's really amazing that, like, music in general, I feel like it's given me so much that way. And I'm just really blessed. Yeah.
Well, speaking of fan love, Siddharth, I think your crowd-funded campaign for newness itself should be a testament to how much people love your music, how much they believe in you. Because, of course, a little after Lost released in 2019, the pandemic happened. You did have a multi-city tour planned then, which I'm sure would have had to be postponed in the wake of the pandemic. And of course, a little after Newness released, or I don't know if it had released by then, but of course, you went on on a multi-city tour with Alvin Presley and Mahesh Raghunandan earlier, in the
Music
summer of
Fest.
2022.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful because I mean you performed across the leading cities in the country, and of course in Pune you were joined by Himanshu Chavan and Samar Mehdi. So clearly, I don't think so. You need a bigger testament of fan love than that, do you?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have that many people. Like there's so many other people who have like so many fans, and I'll probably get there. But no, for sure. I feel like I've also, this is one thing that I've grown to realize. At 18, when I released One in a Million, I was like, I'm gonna conquer the whole world. I'm gonna have millions of people and all of that stuff. I feel like as an 18-year-old, you're always thinking like that, which is
Yeah,
great. How you need to start, but then the real world sort of kicks in, and then you realize that you know what, million people is probably not my thing. 100 really nice people is what I'm looking for, and then that sort of like is true now. Like I can very safely say that I have 100 people that I can rely on to always listen to my music, and
sweet.
that's a really nice thing. And it really like Bangalore actually as a city has been so good to me. My friends from Bangalore and my people who support my music from Bangalore are so like selfless with their support, and they just like, it really surprises me. And sometimes I just don't believe it. It's amazing. They come all, like the Bangalore traffic and the rain and everything is so bad, but they still come down to a show. They leave 2 hours early sometimes just to be at my show. Sometimes they surprise me with, like at Hyderabad, sometimes I've been surprised with cakes for a song's anniversary. I've been surprised with like a bouquet of fries by a friend a long time ago, and because I like French fries a lot, and like these sort of things are just the greatest. I love it. These keeps, whenever such things happen, I'm just like, I'm cool. I'm good with these 100 people. I can live the rest of my life just making friends with these guys. I know I can be happy. Like it's really amazing that people are so kind, and they do that because maybe they heard something that I wrote and they felt like, hey, you know what, this guy is writing what I feel, and I want to support him. And to think that it's like, I'm just like really it's awesome. It's a low volume of people, but the amount of love they show is really amazing, and it's more than enough for me, and I'm just really happy that it's like that.
My God. I can actually sense how how it makes you emotional and how it makes you so grateful, I mean, I really can sense that emotion in you. So that since you're in at the Boston campus of Berkeley Music, do you want to tell our viewers about what are you currently pursuing at the campus?
Yeah, so this is actually a question a lot of people have been asking me, and I've sort of been wanting to put it out there. So this is not an undergrad program. This is, I'm not here
Okay.
for 4 years. I'm not here for a long time. I'm actually here for a very short amount of time. Berkeley does a summer program called Aspire 5 week, and it's called Aspire because it's targeted towards young people who want to maybe go to Berkeley in the future,
Hmm.
or just want to get the whole energy and sort of uh, everything that they have into Berkeley, the system of Berkeley inside their heads and inside their life, just to sort of understand how things work over here. And I'm here for that. I've been here for 2 weeks now. I have 3 weeks left. And I learn a lot of things from like the basic music theory stuff, but also performance skills and songwriting. And like we have singer songwriter labs here, and we have like really unique sort of approaches to making music and producing music. And you just get a worldly perspective of things when you're here, because there are people from so many countries doing this 5 week thing with me, and I'm also staying with people that from all over the world, so you get to connect and meet with so many instrumentalists and vocalists and performers from across the country who are probably just like me, right? They've put out a few songs on Spotify. They're trying to level up their careers, but they want to figure it out, and they're all here for a reason. And aspire is a great word that they've used, because aspiration is the reason why all of us are here. So It's been amazing. I've made friends from Italy. A friend from Bermuda has asked me to come to Bermuda and play sometime. She's invited me over to play, and like she has a venue for me and everything,
How
which is awesome.
sweet.
I've made friends from America, Brazil, um, and like there is an Indian friend also. There's some Pakistani friends that I've made, and we've obsessed about cricket and food during Ramadan, and oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah, I've just met so many people, and also everybody plays so many different instruments here. Like I met so many saxophone players and like cello players and trumpet players. It's just really great to have these people on your phone, just like on a hey, what's up sort of a relationship. And it's amazing that Berkeley does this 5 week thing. It's just really the thing is, I mean, I'll be honest here. I can't afford the 4 year program, right? It's super expensive. Even if you get a scholarship, you're still having to pay a lot to sort of stay here in Boston. And like for 4 years, if you just add all of that up, it's a lot of loans that you'll have to pay for the rest of your life. I can't afford that. But at the same time, because this 5 week thing is much lesser in terms of like the cost, it just made sense for me. I wanted to get the Berkeley experience just to see how things work, right? But I couldn't do the whole 4 year thing, and even time wise, I can't afford it. So it just felt right to do the 5 week thing, and I'm getting the whole experience. I can say that I know what Berkeley is like and the atmosphere is like because I've been here. I'm not just looking at the building and saying, yeah, I've seen Berkeley. I'm actually here for 5 weeks. It's a small amount of time, but you learn a lot. So that's why I'm here. And it is actually helping me. I've never learned theory before, and this is the first time learning it. Is actually helping me. I'm inspired by so many people that I'm looking at here, so that sort of affects how I write my future music. And I'm just generally getting a little bit of a brush up on all the basic skills of music, and that's great because I've never had music education before, so this is the first time.
Well, Siddharth, since I've been, hosting some really wonderful interviews where a lot of the artists I've interviewed have always mentioned you as one of their favorite talents to look out for.
Really? Who
Especially,
said that?
yes, PK and Mahesh Raghunandan both. And
Wow.
yes,
Awesome.
so I wanted to ask who are Siddharth Bendi's favorites from our Indian independent music scene.
Oh my God. One of my definite favorites has to be Sudan from Mumbai. He is the co-producer on June and It's Over, my two latest singles, and he is amazing. He's so talented. He's a music producer. He plays multiple instruments, and he's gonna put out an album soon. It's gonna be so good. Um, I think someone else. I love Mahesh. I've been on tour with Mahesh and Alvin, both of them, and they're just so good. Alvin's musicality is just out of this world. I'm so excited for his EP coming out this weekend. Um, I think one of his singles is coming out this weekend, and Mahesh has an EP coming out this year as well. So both of them I love, and I can go naming so many people. I just love too many people from the Indian scene. Uh, I'm so inspired by Tejas and his music and his evolution as an artist. Um, from Bombay, of course, like everybody knows Tejas, but yeah, he's one person that I look up to a lot in the scene. Um, Karshni has the most beautiful voice. Um,
Amazing. Yeah.
I really want to meet her sometime. I've never met her, but she has a really wonderful voice, and her influences and my influences sort of match uh, from what I know from Instagram, and I think she'd be nice to have a conversation with. Um, yeah, I can go on, but like there are so many people that I love. Yeah, it's amazing.
Lastly, to conclude, Siddharth, I must say this has been such a fulfilling chat, and I just hope that it's been worth your time, to have woken up at 7 a.m. on a
Oh, for
Sunday
sure.
morning.
I'm completely woken up now, and I feel great because now it's probably like 8 o'clock, and I have so much time in the day. I can do a lot of things. It's fun.
But thank you so much, Siddharth, for talking to me, and I cannot wait for all the more wonderful music that you have coming our way. And since you're at Berkeley and you're, in August company of, you're in August company with so many amazing energies around you. Can't wait for all the global collaborations, coming our way in the future. All
I
the very
actually wrote some
best.
songs already in Berkeley, and I'll probably put them out. I really like them. I wrote them with like two people from two different places. It's amazing.
We'll
Yeah,
have a global compilation very soon.
I don't know, but I have a single coming out in August.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes, we are all for it. Thank you so much once again, Siddharth, for talking to me, and I wish you all the very best. You may now please go
Thank
back
you.
to sleep.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. This has been fun. I haven't done any interviews recently, so this has been really fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.